So here's what people don't realize, right? Your big banks, let's say that, not to call anybody out, but Chase is a big bank. Wells Fargo's is a big bank. Bank of America, another big bank, right? Look, they don't need to take risks on other businesses. Hey guys, welcome back to Grindwise. I'm Earl, and as always, I'm sitting here with my partner, Brent. Today's going to be a little different. It's going to be a shorter podcast, but you're going to want to watch till the very end because Brent and I have decided we're going to give you a tip about your business, about your corporate credit that you're going to be able to actually utilize today as soon as you get done watching this. So you want to make sure you watch until the end. It's going to be stunning because, Brent, we are launching into Grindwise. Let's go.
I love it, man. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've been recording. Been so busy, right? With the launch of the software and 6 million views of it. Oh my gosh, crazy!
That was crazy, right? Yeah. You know, so we build this thing out. You and I are going. We spend a year going, man. Everybody's gonna love this, but then you kind of get to that point where okay, here it is. I wonder if they're really going to love it.
Right. Well, it's showing. I mean, people are signing up every single day. So I love it.
We didn't expect it. So what we did is we said, okay, here's a product. And this is for people that are in business, right? So everybody has a good idea about business and things like that. And they're like, I think it'll work, but most people have to vote with their wallet before you know that it's really going to work, right? So what do? We go and we do a press release.
Yep. And that we've done 3 of them now, actually.
We've done 3. Yeah.
And they are, I mean, just driving traffic to it. I couldn't even imagine the number that we see daily.
But that first one was, it honestly was a shock. So, we get hit up by people all the time, just like everybody does in business. They're like, oh, buy our wares, we'll do great things for you. So we vet out a company and say, all right, we'll do some press releases with you.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, to get the exposure and everything else, that's something I never even thought of.
No.
And I mean, it wasn't even on my radar for marketing or advertising, but it works. I mean, it does work. And especially if you're a small business owner and you're in your community, you can target, your community with a press release. If you want to go nationwide, that's even better. I mean, we got picked up by each time 480 plus.
That's nuts.
News channels across the country.
Yeah, I want to talk about this. Yeah. And honestly, if you're in business, okay, the tips are coming early, right? If you're in business right now and you're pivoting and you have a new product, look at doing a press release. Let people know. That's a great way to get it out en masse and let people know what you're doing. But we do this press release. We're thinking, okay, let's just make sure that our heads are where we think they are and people are going to like it. And then over the course of 7 days, what happened?
Yeah, we hit that 6 million views. And, you'd think, I've had people go, oh, there's probably a lot of bots. Well, out of the 6 million, there was actually 1,000 bots is all.
1,000 bots. So that's crazy how they can figure that out.
Yeah. And also, the next thing was, well, I bet you got every country. Yeah, we got a lot of countries, but the majority of it was, I mean, we're talking 6 million, 5.7 of it was United States. And really, I mean, it was just saying, hey, here's a new software, here's a new technology, here's something that can help businesses. But we made a mistake as business owners, didn't we? Yep, we absolutely made mistakes as business owners. Every business owner does. And that's why the app is so important and powerful, is because it keeps you from making those mistakes.
Well, I don't know. We should have known. So, and for you guys that are watching, let's just be real. We want to make sure people thought as highly of it as we do. 6 million people voted with their keyboard going, yeah, we love this. And we didn't have the metrics in to capture those people to go and retarget them.
Right. And we do now.
Yeah, we do now, to go back and communicate with them. I always go back to that Harvard business study. It says in sales, on a person-to-person level, it's going to take between 9 and 12 touches roughly, to actually create a sale.
Yep.
Right. And most people only touch someone 5 to 7 times. In the digital world, it's higher.
Yep.
Right. Because there's not that personal feel. But then we encounter something else as it relates to price points, because we got involved with this, and our whole goal was, we have a product that we've been selling forever with live coaching, and we still sell it, right? I mean, you can still get it. It's a live coached, corporate business credit builder. You can get it. It's like $3,000, but we knew that 90% of the people probably didn't have that just out there, because most people don't even realize they should build credit on their EIN. So then what do we do?
Make it affordable for everybody.
Yeah.
And then we get all these people coming in and saying, really, it's only $99 for this? And they're like, you should be charging $250, $260. I'm like, that wasn't our goal ever. Never was our goal.
It never was. Like we just wanted to help you. We just want to help people. And now people are left and right saying, yeah, I'm in. But it's funny that the perception of people in business, and I think if you own a business, right, this is one of those things that you might want to consider when it comes to price points. There's psychology in it. And as much as we've done in business and as much influence as we have in an arena and people and resources that we can defer to, we thought, $99 a month to be a member, but to get access to something that, we built almost $100,000 worth of immediate value into that thing. We had a conversation with someone yesterday, a marketing guru. We talk to them all the time, marketing gurus, right? And what did they say on that price point?
He said $299 a month is what we should be charging.
Dude, we're like, but why?
Right. He said it was psychologically, people see something with such a low value, they don't want to buy it because they think it's too good to be true at that price.
Right.
And I'm like, well, it still doesn't make any sense. I'd rather still keep it at $99, but maybe someday we do raise it.
I think as time goes on, like right now we're in that phase with the Try Turing platform. People can go in there and build their corporate credit. We've built so many other value pieces into it, but we have so many things on the heels that are coming in that relate to business, because our foothold really in the market has been to be that company that brings pieces and tools, to businesses that they might not be aware of, probably couldn't afford. We go and negotiate those things and put them in here. And now we have this platform that houses all of it.
And we, like you said, we've meeting all these marketing companies. Well, people want to know why. Well, we're looking at it for us. We're also looking at it for them.
Right.
We've got right now, I think I have 3 marketing companies that we have fully vetted. You see those ads on TikTok and Facebook, and scroll down, sign up here for our $99 or $99 30-day course or whatever. And you get in there and all they're doing is just telling you how to do exactly what you've been doing already, except for changing a few things. And so you wasted $99. But then they also, now you're in their marketing campaigns, everything else. We vet people. And we've got, like I said, 3 of them going in there right now. That's huge value.
Oh, yeah.
Because then you're not out there going, well, I don't know. Should I do this one? Should I do that one? I don't know. We will vet them so it's a trusted partner, and they're inside the app. That they're people we utilize, people that we talk to, people we had conversations with for 2 or 3 months.
So now, right now, in the $99 Try Turing, membership platform, people get access to the corporate credit builder, which actually has the action steps. It's not just some sort of exercise or learning course. These are the actionable steps. Just click this button, go and take care of it right now, right? That chronology. So it literally takes them through. It's not some homework assignment. It's let's do some stuff, right?
Yep. With links to the actual websites where you go.
Right. You aren't going and pecking and searching and open up a bunch of windows. You're clicking buttons and going there. But in it, we've built so much other value pieces, and we've opened up our magic Rolodex to some extent. I mean, probably about this much of it, honestly, because we have so much more to go in there that we've dealt with over the last collective 60 years, in our business lives, that are going into it, right? But we have the business valuations. People are a member of Try Turing for a year. We're going to do an accredited evaluation because you're on this journey, right? You're building your business up. Let's find out what it's really worth now, I
don't know. It's kind of funny. You might think it's silly, but I feel like one of the biggest value adds in there for me is the docu-Turing, the docu-story.
That thing's crazy, right?
All the document templates that are in there. It's like like one of those companies you go out and pay $40 a month to have all the documents. Same type of deal. It's built into the software. Not only that, but you can store it and save it in the software. Right. And got to give props to our dev team, West Tennessee. They hold the highest security credentials. Our software, because of them, is as secure as a bank software.
Well, and that means you can put your P&Ls, your balance sheets, your tax returns, all those documents can be stored in there rather than paying another service on it, right? I mean, I think ours is like 50 cents a gig once you get over a certain amount, but it's secure. And it's important because when it comes time to go and get funding, right? trying to get some money, you've got to be able to have those documents at your fingertips, so you're not going to files and you're not going to sourcing through all the different emails. Now you're right, the docu-Turing section's huge. I got to tell you though, one of the things I'm excited about, it's not in there yet. We're just finalizing that, but is the legal Turing side where, all our members are going to have access to an attorney network nationwide.
Are we going to charge more when that gets put in there?
We're not. No.
Okay.
Our goal has never been to do that, right?
Right.
Well, there's things in there, that services and products, but anybody that's in there, they're pre-vetted, but they also all had to agree that any of our Try Turing members are going to get it far less than what they get it if they came off Main Street to solicit them, say, hey, I want to go to this bookkeeping service. Well, if you're a Try Turing member, it's a lot less.
I heard the other day on one of our calls, you go out to a broker to get a loan, and a broker charges, industry average is 18 to 24% on a success fee, right?
Right. Just to get you the money. It's like saying, Brent, here's $100,000, but I want 20 grand of it, but I'll give you the other 80.
Right. Yeah. Success fee. So, but those guys are great because you don't just go to your one bank, they send you to hundreds of banks and they figure out which one's going to approve you.
Yeah.
And then they get you the money versus you go to one bank and they say no, you got to go to another bank. They say no, and you have to do that over and over and over. So if you need the money, the best way to do it, and usually get the best interest rates that way as well, is do it through a broker. But yesterday we were talking with a prospect, and him becoming a Try Turing member, on that success fee was $15,000.
Well, that was prior to becoming a Try Turing member, right? Yeah. That's because we have the turbo Turing in there, and we're way below industry standard on that. You're talking about a 12% success fee versus a 15 on Main Street, which is still less than industry average, but you're paying $99 a month to save $3,000 on every 100,000 that's coming in. That's a pretty big value, but it just goes and goes and goes. But here's the funny thing, and this is what always blows my mind about it. And honestly, if you're in business, you probably realize this, but money costs money, right? Nobody's just out there going, here, I'll give you some money on an unsecured loan. Just pay me back. I got you. They're going, well, I got to get my end on it. And our attitude is, let's make it non-predatory. Let's hook people up with things where they're not reaching into your bank account every week, those MCAs and stuff like that. Let's make sure that people have options. So Turbo Turing's become a really, really good option for our clients. We probably should staff up a little heavier because so many people want it, and we only take on so many clients, and they always come, first first serve out of the Try Turing platform on that.
Yeah, I agree. And that's been a phenomenal product. It has. I mean, it's, you can literally you use the analogy all the time, going across the country in a covered wagon. That's how you build the credit over time.
Right.
And Turbo Turing is like taking a Learjet across the country instead. It's getting you there quicker, and everything. Once you get that data, as long as you're, like you always say, a good steward of your finances, once you're at top tier, you're there.
Well, so our platform's about getting people to that top tier level, right? People demonstrating their ability to borrow and pay, and we have hundreds of different vendors in there. It doesn't matter if you need Home Depot or fuel cards or what it is. We have the piece to go in there. It's kind of like collecting baseball cards for businesses. When they're in there, they're just going, hey, got it, want it, need it, got it, want it, need it. So we've taken all the guesswork out, right? We know who they report to. We know what their terms are. So people are able to look at that and go, yeah, that makes sense for me. And depending on what tier level they are at in credit, those things become accessible. But when it comes to getting the big money and stuff like that, there's different things. And I think at the end of this, that's going to be one of the free tips we're going to give people so they can take action, for sure within their business. But there's so much in it. Gosh, Brent, it blows my mind. What really blows my mind is the people, I don't know, man, that's awful cheap. If you charge me a little bit more, I definitely get started right away. But people are getting over that hump because the reality is the price will go up at some point. We have to. Our stuff's all hard coded. This isn't some workaround or some sort of gray hat seminar or something like that. This is actually hard coded software that is built.
Yep.
All coded out.
Yeah, I doing everything the way that we have set everything up. For instance, if I was still running, my $6 million trucking company, I would have signed up for this in a heartbeat because I was never building credit on my EIN. Remember, I talk about it all the time, $6 million company, and I had a $7,000 recommendation because nobody I was using was reporting. My fuel bill wasn't reporting. I mean, actually, my fuel card did report, but I didn't have a credit profile. Didn't even know I had to build a credit or get a credit profile.
Right. We had a guy, I was up in Chicago, I went up to that and spoke at that event. A gentleman came and saw me. He's like, I've got to have this. I've got to have this. I'm like, absolutely. Look, I'll help you get into it. And got him in. And the next morning, he's like, I was up until 2 a.m. I can't believe there's that much stuff in there. I was just like page after page, just going through stuff going, oh my God, my business is going to be okay. And so that's kind of cool.
Yeah. And he did even record a testimonial for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right. I pulled up my phone. I'm like, dude, say that again. So that was cool. Look, everybody that's in business right now, we're watching what's happening politically. We got the big, beautiful bill. Some people absolutely hate it. Some people absolutely love it. Some people are just right in the middle. Nobody really knows what tomorrow brings. And, I guess there's prepping in life, there's prepping in business, there's prepping for gosh knows what's coming down the pipeline, but getting prepared with your business, setting up some foundational things, that's really, really, really important.
Well, and a lot of people miss that. And what do? Oh man, I need money.
Well, they don't know where to turn, Brent.
Right. And when they go try to get money, now they're like, oh, I should have been doing this all along.
That's even worse than that. They go to Google, right? They go to where can I get a business loan that's super duper 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 cheap
and fast?
And fast, right? And then now they're going through pages and pages and pages of prepaid ads, right? It's nuts.
Yeah,
we've done all that work. We've done all the work ahead of time. People that are Try Turing members, they go in there and they're like, well, they already did all the work. They probably used them. That's where I'm going. So it's taking that guesswork out.
What's funny is if you search how to build business credit or certain things like that, in the business credit area, there's 3 to 4 pages of paid ads. And
it's nuts.
Yeah. And if people don't realize it, they're like, oh, this company is going to help me build my business credit. And it's a credit card that doesn't even report, but they're at the top of the list, or maybe not now at the top, but they're in there. And there's other things in there that don't report that are paid sponsored ads on that keyword. And it's like, for the life of me, it's going to take us spending probably $100,000 a month to go above a bank that's not reporting. But at some point, maybe we'll be there. I don't know. That's
my favorite are. What my favorite because we do this all the time. But I like when I go and go, how do I build business credit, or how do I get money for my business or something? And I'll go right to the videos. And my favorite thing is when I see some kid, sitting there with his shades on in the back of his Hyundai rolling on a donut. He's like, yo, bro, check it out, man. See, this is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to do. This is how you get those digits rolling upwards. And I'm like, people really listen to this?
Yeah.
Hit me up on the DMs if you want to know some more.
I got kicked out of a Facebook group because some guy had posted a picture of like 20 Amex cards. He goes, and Amex doesn't report business credit. You have to the corporate card does, but it's hard to get that.
Good luck getting that.
He posted those 20 cards and he said, got my business credit rolling. That's exactly what he said. And I was like, I typed, too bad they don't report. And the guy owns the group. I've done this for 20 plus years and blah, 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 blah. I said, he's building credit with American Express. That's it.
My gosh.
American Express isn't reporting the other bureaus, so he's not going to go buy a car unless he's going to American Express to buy the car, which is a tough bank to deal with, right?
Yeah, it's not easy.
Risk averse.
So here's what people don't realize, right? Your big banks, let's say, not to call anybody out, but Chase is a big bank. Wells Fargo's is a big bank. Bank of America, another big bank, right? Look, they don't need to take risks on other businesses. They don't. But guess what? There's 1,000 times more smaller banks out there that are like, hey, you know what? We're willing to gamble on you, right? And why do they do that?
So they can prove a niche market is one thing. They want to prove a niche market and then build that. Once they figure out that this is a good market, they'll build it up and sell it to the big banks.
Well, yeah, they take the performing loans, they put them into baskets, they sell those up to bigger banks, or maybe a bank goes and acquires them because they've taken the right risks with the right people, right? But
I heard something one day that a small bank's entire goal, and I could be wrong, but I heard this one day, is to sell out to a bigger bank.
I've heard that too. Of course, you go and you talk to that hometown bank. They're like, "Nah, we're going to be here for a fortnight. We'll be all right." So I don't know. I mean, but you see them getting swallowed up all over the place. So, and that comes from having good performing loans. People don't realize that. They think, Well, I went to one of the big banks and I got denied. I guess I can never get money, but they don't realize if you know where to go, if you understand their underwriting criteria. Our team actually wrote the underwriting criteria for a lot of these bankings over on the turbo touring side, which again, over to your point, your analogy is like jumping in a Learjet and going coast to coast versus sitting in a covered wagon building your credit slowly as you go. It's just a way to accelerate, but money costs money, right?
Yep.
People don't do things for free or out of the kindness of their heart. Most people are in a profit situation. Even nonprofits, they'll pull 30% off of those donations. Some of those little loopholes, they can get more money, right? So, knowing that, I think it's everything.
Yep, I agree.
So look, we don't want to run this out really long. We kind of wanted to chat about it today, but we promise you we give you a free tip, something that you could take action on today, that you could actually, that's going to be tangible and of value to your business. And we're going to get one from Brent, and then I'm going to give you mine, and then I'm going to talk to you for a second, and we'll let you go.
Ready for my tip?
I'm ready.
All right. So most business owners, and I say most, probably 95 to 98% do not realize that there are 3 business credit bureaus. You have Dun & Bradstreet, which is everybody's like, I got my business credit, I got Dun & Bradstreet number, I got that thing. Well, it doesn't work if you don't get stuff reporting to it. Second one is Experian Business, and the third one is Equifax Business. Now, there is a fourth one out there that is when you're going to get big money and hard money, it's called an SPSS score. And that's what the banking system actually created that. And so that's a combination score of your personal credit and your business credit. And if everything lines up, you can still go without a PG if there's collateral in place.
So what do they do? So you're saying go do what with these credit bureaus?
Go register.
Go register.
That's a free tip. That's in our platform. Go register. We walk you through it in the platform.
They can do it now, right?
They can do it right now. If their business is up and running, I will caution, if you go do that right now and things in step 1 are all kosher, you're going to have to go back to the bureaus and fix things. And that is a nightmare.
All right. You ready for mine?
No.
Well, I'm going to give it to you.
Bring it.
Here's the reality. There's a company called LexisNexis. They know more about you than you even know about yourself. There's about 125 initial points that insurance and lending and things like that they look at when it comes to trying to get loans. It might be that you had a boat and it was too big of a boat and they didn't like how that boat's color was lined out. I'm not being literal, but there's 125 different things. If you don't have your stuff set up foundationally correct, meaning your address matches on every single document that relates to your business, whether it be your insurance, your lease, your state licenses, your federal licenses. If those don't all match, one T or one dot out of place, it can throw the whole thing off in the mix. My tip to you is go back and review all of your documents right now. Make sure that all of those things align, that the address is the same, that the phone number is the same, and there's not a single thing out of place. From a foundation standpoint, that's one of the most important things that you can be doing in business. Of course, there's a ton of different foundational things that you really need to do in a chronological order. But if you do that part today, at least it's going to make you look better in the eyes of the lending world. So, what do you think of that one?
That's a good one. That's a good one. I mean, you left out a few little details.
I know, but you know what? When you got companies like LexisNexis, you got these big people that are looking at what these people are doing, and it's like big brothers watching you, right? Every facet of your life is covered, and you go out to get loans. They don't give you the reason why they turned you down. They're just like, we apologize, you've been declined, you're not qualified, and boom, and you're going, okay, right? What's going on? So, the reality is, if you want to go down below this video here on Grindwise, we have a resource. We're going to give you a free ebook if you like reading ebooks. It's a lot of reading, but it's all the information that we pulled together as it relates to business credit. Now, if you don't feel like reading an ebook, and you can certainly have it for free. Brent and I wrote it. It's amazing. It's about 350 pages. So, grab yourself a latte and sit there for 10 days reading it. If you'd rather just talk to one of us, there's also a link down there. Look, you can talk to Brent, you can talk to me, or you can talk to one of our team. You don't need to talk to some commission guy who's going to try to sell you something, but we can answer your questions and we can get a little more in depth on where you sit as a business. As you know what, Brent, as a bonus, let's do this. If you guys want to schedule a meeting with us, chat for 15, 20 minutes, no big deal. We'll go ahead and pull your business credit, because I promise you it's not where you think it is, and it doesn't affect you. like it does on personal credit. Anybody can pull your business credit. So we're going to do that for them for free. So make sure you go down below this video. And if you haven't liked and subscribed and followed us for more content, make sure you do that. But we'll see you next time here on Grindwise. I'm Earl. My partner Brent.
We're out.
I'm out.